So we're back again with yet again another episode of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. In the last episode, I helped out Sparrow and got back his crystal ball that he was, ever so looking for with his all-seeing eyes that just exist across the land. He's satisfied now, so he's now being, mystified over in the bazaar. Now, I didn't do this in last episode, but I may as well just go ahead and visit him again. And just, find out what's up, see how he's actually doing, because, why not? We helped him, so may as well just pay him a visit. Now, we might notice we have 64 gratitude crystals right there, so he should be back, right? Well, no. What you actually have to do is go to bed. Yeah, believe it or not, he does not show up magically back in the bazaar, just through, broad daylight like that, so kind of jump down, and normally I would just go to bed in my own bed over in the, Night Academy dorm, so I'm just gonna go to bed in this place. Yeah. Link just acts like there's almost no consequences. Sleeping in everybody's bed, just acting like there's no consequences at all, like, there is. I'm just gonna go ahead and sleep till morning, because there would be no point in sleeping till night, then morning, because there's no night business that we have yet. We go to bed. Okay, so, I'm sorry. Alright, yawning. Yawn. So, we leave, and we may as well just, see what our boy Sparrow is up to. Now that we're just all good and rested up, and Link is all feeling perked up and ready to go in this episode. So, and here we go. He's back. Yeah, Sparrow is back. What's up, man?
Oh, you're that young man from before. Thanks to you, I've been able to return to a life of gazing into the future to tell people's fortunes. What do you say I tell yours, And I'll even cut you a deal. From now on, it's just half price. Come now. Let me see into the future with these big round eyes, and you get my special rate half off.
Oh, man.
Shall I begin to peer into your future? It'll be 5 rupees.
What do you say? No, sure.
So, what information do you seek? What is it that you want to know?
Well, since he's back, and we want to show Sparrow our support, and just see all aspects of this game that I specifically know of, and ones that I've kind of been researching, may as well just do both, so I'm going to go with treasure.
Yes, treasure, You wish for me to gaze into my crystal ball and foresee treasure. I must confess, I know little about treasure. Well, I guess I can give it a shot. I see many things. All is revealed. Yes, a towering forest, sandy dunes, a blazing mountain, monsters. These are the sources of treasure that I foresee. Which source of treasure do you want to hear about? I love how the game breaks it down for us. So, the fact that we've already seen most of these already, I'm going to go with just, a basic band. I'm going to go with forest. Yes, I see a towering forest. Treasures often bound in these great woods are bird feathers and hornet larvae. I see you finding a bird feather by catching a small bird in your net. And hornet larvae. Oh yes, you will find them by knocking down hives. All among the small bird feathers, I see one that is highly prized. Yes, the blue bird feather. It is said to bring happiness. If you see one, young man, you are very fortunate. And then there's the Amber Relic and the Dusk Relic. These can be found in every region I see. He said that he knows a little about treasure, but he's honestly giving me a lot of information. But for some reason, the Dusk Relic can only be found in some kind of trial. And my eyes, they see that the Goddess Plume is the rarest of all treasures. If you should find one, you will be the luckiest man alive. That's all I can see for the moment. My eyes, they grow weary. Come see me again if you should lose your way. Good luck, young man.
Alright, honestly, I have not lost my way. I already know what to do. I'm just demonstrating Sparrow, and now that he's back and, just motivated again. So, give it a shot. Yeah. Alright. So, yeah, I've got the smirk on my face, man. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is go with yes again, and I'm going to go to where to next.
Magnificent. Come closer then. Let us see what I can see. Oh, I see many things. All is revealed. I see you've finally found the one you've been searching for. That is wonderful news. However, your trials are not yet ended. Now you must speak to the great giant who swims above the clouds. If you wish to know more, you should talk to the headmaster of the Night Academy. That's all I can see for the moment. My eyes, they grow weary. Come see me again if you should lose your way. Good luck, young man.
Alright, he seemed to know a whole lot more about treasure than, where I should go next. So, hey, that's an improvement. He comes back and he's motivated. That's great. Okay. Now, we may think that I'm going to go straight to Headmaster Gaepora and, see what he knows about certain things, whatnot. But there is one more thing that I wanted to point out here. Over in Rupin's night market. During the day, he's not here. He's in the bazaar selling his goodies. So, alright. Gear Peddler, Rupin's house. Now, as we already know, Rupin will not be here. However, somebody else will be here. Yeah, this person. So, I should have mentioned this before, but I'll mention it now. She's a collector. We look around and she has all these nice things. She keeps her house well dusted as opposed to, Pippet's mom. Talk to her and find out what kind of person she is.
Oh, I love to collect antiques, All the things you see in my house are very old and valuable. Make sure you don't break anything.
That's it? Well, in that case, I'm going to go ahead and roll right into your everything. I'm going to break everything on the shelf. Do it. Everything comes falling down.
No, how could you? You broke my antique.
That was more than one, woman. Either you suck at math, or you don't know what you have in your house. You suck at math. Alright.
That's it. You break it, you buy it. Let me see now. That was a very expensive antique, so how about 20 rupees should suffice? What's that look for? Oh, you think I'm just making that number?
Oh, 20 rupees? I'm thinking about the frickin' thousands here. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but...
That's ridiculous. I know the value of every item in my possession. And I intend to be compensated in full. Next time that happens, we're going to have words.
I have no words. Alright, in all seriousness, I may as well just say this now. This is a random number-generated rupee remover from your inventory. So, hey, if you ever want to splurge on nothing and get nothing in return, just bump into this woman's shit and just knock all of her stuff down, just like that. And I'll freaking do it again.
You! Did I do something horrible to you in your past life? Why are you punishing me like this? That was a pretty nice item. 10 rupees? 10 freaking rupees? And no, I didn't just make that number up.
I'm out of here. 10 and 20 rupees? Yeah, now you know how this woman works. If you don't want to do that, don't do it, but honestly, I'm paying my taxes here, and I should be cutting taxes more like than, raising them, in my opinion. But you know what? That's just something worth bringing up. So, if you ever want a random rupee number generator to be removed from your inventory, go ahead, do that. But I will be back at the Night Academy in just a minute. Okay, so now that we're here in the Knight Academy, there's really nobody else that I want to catch up with, so I think we should head straight back into Gaepora, into Gaepora's room. I would love to find Colin again, but honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and save him for another time if he, is just so fortunate to be around. But since we're on an order of business here, we may as well just go ahead and catch up with Gaepora to see what he's up to. Okay? Alright. Well, here's a speech bubble, so he must have something up.
Ah, hello, LSP. Have you heard anything more about my daughter? What is it? If you know anything at all, I urge you to share it with me. You want to tell me, but you can't. I understand. I'm sure you have a good reason for keeping quiet.
LSP, I've been doing some thinking since we last spoke.
You had this destiny thrust upon you without warning or choice, for that matter, but I wish to help you as best I can. I'm getting older, and I lack the vigor of youth, but even old men have ways of being useful too. I wish to share as much of my knowledge with you as I can. Good. If you have any question at all about Skyloft or its history, I will be glad to tell you all that I know. Well, honestly, I would love to speak, greatly about this place, but I'm on a mission, man. What do I know of the Triforce? LSP, where did you hear that word? It's true that the ancient texts make several mentions of the Triforce within their pages. Unfortunately, the actual location of the Triforce isn't illuminated in any of those tomes. Its whereabouts are lost to history. Sorry, LSP. It shames me to say it, but my knowledge is of little use on this subject. Well, I guess that's a pretty good place to end this episode. So, with that, stay tuned and I'll see everybody back. Scratch that! LSP, just a moment. Though, there is one whose vast knowledge may be of use. Surely you're familiar with Levias, the great sky spirit who has guarded our realm for ages? Levias has served as the protector of our skies for a long time, and his knowledge of our world is encyclopedic, to put it mildly. If anyone in the entirety of Skyloft and beyond were to know about the Triforce, it would be him. Encyclopedic? May as well ask. Yes, his knowledge is almost limitless, but I fear meeting him may be harder than you must anticipate. I imagine in your travels you've taken notice of the tremendous Thunderhead that suddenly appeared in our skies. Recently, I heard rumors suggesting that Levias is trapped inside that massive cloud. I asked Instructor Owlan to look into this troubling cloud in order to determine if there is any truth to these rumors. I had meant to inquire about his findings earlier, but completely forgot about it after Zelda went missing. Instructor Owlan can fill me in on details later, so why don't you go speak with him yourself and see what his investigation has revealed. Will do, man. Will do. He should be right next door to us, if I'm not mistaken. No, okay. Okay, he's just right smack dab here. So, that's pretty good. Anything in your cabinet that I must say? Honestly, I'm good. I'm not even going to look in his cabinet, but you see how great his room looks? Even these plants have much to say about it, but... Nice, clean office, man. You're decorative. You're having resemblance of, Gaepora on the back of your head. That little hairpiece. I'm loving it, man. LSP. How goes your search for Zelda? Have you found her yet? What? Levias. So you've been talking to the Headmaster, I take it. If I'm correct, Levias is the one outside that Thunderhead. But that's not Levias. We all know. That's a monster. It certainly looks like Levias, but last time I approached him, he came rushing at me, and his eyes, they were full of malice. People change, or old, wizened creatures changed. Rather, perhaps it's more that he is possessed by something. That's how it felt to me. What? You went to talk to Levias. That's
Impossible. I don't think Levias is capable of listening. Not in his current state, no. And even if you were to get close enough to talk to him, it will likely end with you getting brushed aside and sent flying to your death in a sea of clouds. Way to be descriptive, man. Like, you're here to help me out, but you are just letting me know that I'm gonna die in, like, the most gruesome way possible due to, like, a, stormy cloud god named Levias. Yeah, ever heard of Levias? Yeah, that guy is just nothing but gruesome being, man. What? You were still planning on going? I see. It's because you need to find Zelda. I understand. I get the feeling nothing I could say would talk you out of it. Hey, I have an idea. Come with me. Levias is inside of the Thunderhead. He's been acting so strangely, like something has possessed him. If we can somehow free him from whatever it is that has a hold over him, then there's a chance he will return to his senses. Listen well, LSP, because I'm about to teach you a very powerful bird riding technique. It's called the Spiral Charge. Using the Spiral Charge, you can rid of Levias of the blight that has hold of him. The technique is quite easy to perform. All you have to do is press X. However, the acceleration effect lasts longer than any attack move you might have used so far. Maintaining stable flight can be tricky. This is a technique that only senior Knight Academy students who have mastered high-level flight skills are allowed to perform. It's still a bit too early for you, but this is an extraordinary circumstance, so I'll make an exception this time. However, I will test you. First, dive off this platform and call your bird. I'm good, man. Hey. LSP, where are you headed? Dive off this Okay, man, I understand. Time to enter senior class level. Listen up, LSP. I taught your Loftwing to perform a spiral charge when you press X. Use the spiral charge attack to break the 10 targets placed around the floating boulders up ahead. If you can destroy 10 targets in under 120 seconds... Can you just say 2 minutes? I will recognize you as a skilled bird rider. Alright, off you go. Okay, so honestly, this is a little tricky to do, but if you have any common sense and don't want to fly into boulders, then you're not going to mess this up. Like, if you're going to just have any trouble, then it would just be, bumping into stuff, but honestly, in my opinion, this should not have any negative effect on your playability. This is just a little small trial, just, break 10 targets. It shouldn't be a biggie at all, but I've been wrong before sometimes. These birds holding these targets they can just tend to wander a lot. So just be mindful of that if you're going to play this part of the game. So 10 targets, this is going okay so far. These birds, they feel a little bit slower this time than my last time playing it, which was on the Wii. I didn't really get this far in the game on the Switch, but, Okay, so I looked into it, and the 10 targets, they're not just 10. There are lots of them around. So if there were just 10 placed around, then they would just be pretty hard to find, especially if you're under a time pressure. But, this is just not too bad, according to my knowledge. Oh, you managed to destroy 10 targets within the time limit. If you can control your bird that well, you'll have no problems at all. I knew you could do it, LSP. And what a magnificent red bird. You are henceforth permitted to use the Spiral Charge attack as a qualified bird rider. The next thing we have to address is just how to go about finding Levias. Maybe the owner of the Lumpy Pumpkin might know something. Every year he makes an offering of his pumpkin soup for Levias. Go to the Lumpy Pumpkin and ask him what he knows. Alright, before we go there, he has a little extra dialogue, if you want to go ahead and check that out. Yeah. The Lumpy Pumpkin is a little gathering spot on a big oblong island to the southeast of Skyloft. The owner's daughter, Kina, works there. She has the most lovely voice.
I'm also a fan of hers. But you don't have to tell anyone about that, do you? I see a girlfriend for Instructor Owlan. She might be too young. I don't know. He has white hair like Sephiroth. I don't know how old this guy is. He just looks a lot younger than we should, expect. But, jump off, here we go. That's like a pretty nice thing to know about him. Okay, so now that I got the things out of the way that I wanted to talk about in Skyloft, we spent a good chunk of the episode here. So to the Lumpy Pumpkin we go. It is right down here. We're not too far away, so just bop. I didn't really need a beacon, but I just put one there anyway because, yeah. Beacons are nice to use in this game. They're nice to use, they help us, they make our line of vision much more clearer to us. So, let's go ahead and get there. Alright, free fallen. Okay, we're here again. It's great to be back. So there's nothing else right now to check out over here, besides some butterflies that are just floating right about us, right in front of us. Any treasure to go ahead and find? Treasure, nice. Okay, I wasn't expecting that one to pop out, so I guess it worked. Boing. Oh god, okay, Monster Claw. Not too bad. Alright, inside we go. Any backdoor entrances? Yeah, this is a nice little spot. Let's head on in. We're back, and there's a new chandelier. Looking pretty purty, man. That looks pretty beautiful. As I should mention right now, there is a certain thing that I wanted to talk about the Lumpy Pumpkin, especially in this bar place. So, I may as well say this now. I kind of didn't figure this out until a little bit earlier, but I haven't really seen many other LPers bring this up, but I just may as well do it. So, here it goes. I think Nintendo was being a little bit careful not to copy Twilight Princess too much, because this game did come out on the Wii after about, 5 years after Twilight Princess came out on the GameCube originally. So, believe it or not, this place is actually a reference to Telma's bar. And why, do we ask? Well, if we take a look over at Pumm here, what do we notice about him? He's the owner of the place. Take a good look. Yeah. The red hair tied up is clearly a resemblance to Telma. So, we don't really, have that name for him. He's named Pumm instead. Every other character across the sky and Skyloft is named after birds and themed that way. So, this guy right here, what's his name again? Rusta. He is actually, believe it or not, a resemblance to Aura, who is researching the Oasis province in Twilight Princess. So, everything here is a resemblance and reference to the Resistance in Telma's bar. They bring peace back to Hyrule, and yeah. But, hey, Nintendo was being careful not to bring that apparent too much. And this guy, if you take a good look, his name is Keat. He looks a lot like Shad. He researches the sky and sky characters, and yeah, the one thing that gives it away is that curl of hair right in front of his head. So, may as well bring that up. And we just passed her up, but Kina outside, we played the harp for her during the evening time here at the Lumpy Pumpkin. She is a reference to Ashe. She researches the Snow Peak area and is wondering how we can get Prince Zora back and get the earring fishing lure, or fishing hook, rather, and catch the reek fish to reach the Snow Peak to get a mirror shard. So, yeah, there you have it. A good resemblance to Twilight Princess, I gotta give it that, so it's a pretty good Easter egg. What's up, Pumm? What's the matter? You look like you got something mighty serious on your mind. Really? Oh, I guess it was nothing then. If that's the case, why don't you just kick up your boots and stay a while?
Okay, I didn't really realize that I was supposed to say actually. But, hey. Levias. What about him? Sure, I know Levias well, but I wasn't aware anything was wrong. Every year, I offer him an entire basin full of my pumpkin soup. But lately, a huge Thunderhead has been brewing there, and I haven't made this year's offering, I tell you. I feel horrible about it. You say you'll deliver a pot of my pumpkin soup to Levias? Huh. I don't know how you plan to fly into that huge Thunderhead brewing out there, but if that's the case, I'm gonna do everything I can to make Levias the best batch of soup ever. You wait right there. I'm getting inspired to fire up some soup like I've never souped before. If that's even a saying. Voila. Here it is. I've been cooking this stuff for well over 10 years, and I have to say this is the best batch of pumpkin soup I have ever created.
Master, I will signal for the robot. Miss Vi, I'm here. Bzz. Oh, this is another heavy load, but don't worry, I can carry anything. I'll be waiting outside. I can take you wherever you need to go as soon as you are ready. Zat.
The place where I offer soup to Levias is inside of the Thunderhead cloud, on an island with an everlasting rainbow. Oh, you'll know it when you see it. Good luck. Alright, our mission is made very apparent to us. Nice seeing the chandelier in the lumpy pumpkin. Pretty good. It's a pretty nice replacement for the last one that we destroyed and got a heart piece from on top above. But from on top above, that's a pretty nice saying. Nice word twist, but hey, let's go ahead and head out of here and get to Levias. Okay, so we have no other option but to jump off and head into danger. Alright. Whew. So, since we have a very heavy basin of pumpkin soup, we have to head this way. Right ahead straight. We have a long way to go, so I'll be back in just a second. Well, we're here, inside of the Thunderhead. So, I wonder where we can find an island with an everlasting rainbow. Where is it? Ah, big boy, it's right ahead of us. But yeah, the people over at Skyloft are just wonderful people. I think Nintendo did a pretty good job about resembling them as more of just, a normal life. Rather than, bringing peace back to Hyrule, but, I like it. I'm unloading this cargo of pumpkin soup here. You've picked an odd place for a soup delivery. Feels dangerous. Something can jump out at us at any moment. Hungry for soup or robot? I'm out of here. See you around, Zerp. Great Spirit of the Skies, Levias. Yeah. If you're scared, I completely understand if it's your first time playing this game. Okay, so leap off, and remember that spiral charge? Yeah, we're gonna use it here. So, Levias has a big swatting tail, so stay away from that. I might get hit by it in this episode, I really don't know. But your idea here for the first phase is to aim for these eyeballs. Yeah, it probably looks like I'm doing a great job, but I tell you what, it is really random for me to actually be precise with the eyeballs. So, gotta bring it to myself there. That was pretty close there. Okay, that's 2. Alright. You know, I'm not really trying that much, but... Oh! Okay. I don't understand how I'm doing that well. Although that I kind of just, you know... okay. That took less time than expected. I don't know how I did that. I'll take it, though. And we have the second phase, which is that, you know, stalactite thing sticking out of his hole. Oh, that's wording. Wording is bad. What's up, little buddy? It's a little Cyclops. He looks pretty adorable. No worries, right? Just gotta land there and see what's up. Maybe he's hungry or something. Ocular parasite. Bilocite. I probably mispronounced that, but we're here. Now, honestly, ow. Honestly, the idea here is to not aim for his eye, but rather his ears. Just kind of hit him at his sides like that. Now, there is a couple ways to fight him. You have a couple options. You can also use the bow, which is pretty optimal if you just want to aim for his eyeball there. Okay, that worked. It's a pretty good nice to get his weak spot if you actually want to feel like you're being independent and drawing out the pain and suffering that this boss is going to feel. But, hey, 2 bosses in 1? What a deal. Ow. There we go. Uh-huh. Bring it on, buddy. Ha. I got hit and I somehow hit the ball, too. I don't really get that. That didn't work. Okay, there we go. Come here, buddy. Alright. That's rinse and repeat number 2. Okay, that's ear number 1. And get his right ear. There we go. Now, I think he gets smarter around this point in time. So he might move from right to left and whatever, you know, the order is that he wants to go in. But yeah, just give him a couple sweats and... okay, he's going for another phase. Okay, go again. Alright. Looks like we have to keep going and going until he's done, so this is just a rinse and repeat cycle number 3. And there we go. Bilocite is down.
Tell me, boy, was it you who brought me to this delectable cauldron of pumpkin soup? I must apologize for my earlier behavior. A most peculiar and irksome pest possessed me. I was not myself. But that business is done with now. The delicious aroma of that soup has restored me to my senses. I am the great spirit they call Levias. Before she passed from this world, so long ago, the goddess Hylia, appointed me as warden of the skies. And what do they call you, boy? Ah, LSP, is it? A rather pleasing name, that. Your parents clearly have excellent tastes in names. You carry a curious sword, boy, and I sense a silent power dwelling somewhere in that little frame. Ah, I see it now, LSP. You are the goddess's chosen hero. How interesting. I assume you've come to hear what I know of the Triforce. You know? Do I know? You do realize you are speaking to the great Sky Spirit, do you not? It doesn't matter. As I suspected, listen closely, and I will tell you. As you likely know, long ago, an evil force attempted to take the Triforce for his own. The goddess did everything in her power to prevent it from falling into his hands. For the safety of all things, she hid the Triforce somewhere within the rock you call Skyloft. However, its location has been kept secret. Even I do not know where it rests now. Oh, but the goddess did entrust me with a hint as to the Triforce's location. The clue is a song, meant to be played on the harp you hold. It is known as the Song of the Hero. The song is the key to revealing the secret location to the Triforce. The goddess split this song into 4 parts. She entrusted one part to me and the other 3 to the dragons of the land. You must gather each of these parts of the Song of the Hero. Seek them out, seek out the dragons, and convince them to teach you their parts. When they've taught you what they know, come to me and I will complete the song with my own voice. The dragons can be found at Farron Woods, Eldon Volcano, and Lanayru Desert. Go on then, find the dragons you now seek.
Alright, that is a great conclusion to this episode. We awakened Levias, we helped him out, he is floating freely through the skies, so we should feel pretty good. We helped somebody out, or something, and we know a little bit more information than we did in the last episode. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. In the next one, we are going to visit and possibly do some lovely things across the sky first before we're going to any of those, and then we'll get down to business. With that, stay tuned, subscribe, like, comment, or anything else, and peace out, everyone.